Hi guys, this is the lab material for exam number 4. So I have two sets of slides. One of them is for slides and 2x2s, and the other one, all of the models, I put them together, I guess, in your canvas. They are separate, like mollusks, annelids, and so on and so forth. They're separate, but here they're all together. Okay, so let's move on. I talk too much sometimes. Here is the very first slide. So this is the Ascaris, it's phylum Nematoda. It's a cross section of a male Ascaris. Okay, so this would be the cuticle right here. Let's do red. Okay, so that would be the cuticle. This would be the longitudinal muscles. Remember, these animals do not have circular muscles. And then that would be testes. So that's right there, the gut. And then, of course, these areas are pseudocoelom. Okay, all of that area, that's the intestine right here, as I mentioned. And then pseudocoelom area. Lateral line right here. And of course, this is a male. Do not worry about vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, and all of that. Just remember, all of these are testes. Okay. And same thing again, lateral line on this side. And of course, testes, you can see all of the testes. This is the intestine right here. And these are all testes, pseudocoelom area, longitudinal muscles, all of it, longitudinal muscles, and that would be your cuticle, the tegument, hypodermis. Female uterus, in here you should know the differences. Okay, uterus, oviduct, and all of these, even though look like a wheel, all of the small ones are the ovary. Intestine, longitudinal muscles, and of course your epidermis. And of course, these area right here, when I put the dot, those are pseudocoelom area. Same thing, female Ascaris rheumacoides and the phylum Nematoda. Same thing again, female, you have the two uterus here, remember that. And inside of the uterus, these are all eggs. Same thing again. Let me see if I see any nerve cord. No. Okay, so there is no nerve cord on these slides, just lateral line. And then, okay. This organism is your Trichinella spiralis. Of course, these are the nurse cells, the L1, and then the background, all of these are skeletal muscle. Same thing, nerve cell, okay, L1, and then the background, or L3, inside of these nerve cells, they become L1 to L3. And then the background is Trichinella spiralis. This is your hookworm, common name hookworm. If I ask for a scientific name, you can write down 3 names, Ancylostoma caninum, Nectator americanus, and Ancylostoma duodenale. This name of the structure is teeth, okay, or cutting plates. Sometimes they have cutting plates. So in here, you don't have to worry about it. Either one, cutting plate or teeth, is correct for our purposes. This is a male, hookworm male. This is a female toward the posterior end. What is the name of the structure? That would be copulatory bursa. That's a male again. Copulatory bursa of male. Female, they have no copulatory bursa. These are the eggs of pinworm, flat on one side, curved on the other. Same thing again, flat on one side, straight, and they are like a dome shape on the other side. Okay, this is your vinegar or pinworm, vermicularis. Anyhow, I'm forgetting the names right now. This is your pinworm, and the scientific name, yes, you should know. it might dawn on me in a few minutes, but right now it's a pinworm. So make sure you know the name, the scientific name as well. This is the vinegar eel. If you don't pasteurize the vinegar, that's what they appear in the vinegar. It's called vinegar eel, and Aguilar aceti is the name of the scientific name. Again, these are all nematodes. Okay. Again, pinworm. This is pharyngeal bulb right here, indication of pinworm, and this is toward the head of the animal, toward the anterior portion of the animal. This is the pinworm toward the posterior end of the animal. This is the microflaria of Dirophlaria immitis, a common name dog heartworm, and around it, these are all dogs' red blood cells. But this is the microflaria. This is the your Philodina, the corona right here, corona right here, and phylum Rotifera. This is the body, and this is the tail. Okay, this is Regula, phylum Mollusca. Regula belongs to phylum Mollusca. That's the only two things I can ask: Regula and then phylum Mollusca. These are your the one that attaches the gills of fish and suck blood, Glochidium. It's a larva stage. The name of the larva is called Glochidium, and they attach to the phylum Mollusca. They attach to gills of fishes and suck blood. They do look like kind of villagier larva, but they are not villagier. Remember that. Okay, this is a villagier larva, phylum Mollusca. This is the foot of a bivalve. So this is the all of this is the foot. So this is the mantle. These two are gills. You have two gills in here, and inside of the foot you have the gonad, intestine, and then up here this is kidney. I draw a line. This is the heart and the intestine. Remember, intestine passes through the heart in here. This is the clam gill. Same as this one is clam gill, of course, but you have the foot in there as well. Clam gill, that's all you have to identify. Clam gill, phylum Mollusca. Okay, this is phylum Annelida. This is your nares vernus, epidermis, sacral muscle, longitudinal muscle, and gut. And then, of course, this area that I'm drawing lines, that would be your coelom. These are coelomate animals. Same thing again, the gut, coelom, circular muscle, longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, all of this, and this is epidermis. That's all you can see in here. Okay, now this is a blood vessel, same animal, nares vernus, class Polychaeta. Okay, then this is a nerve cord, circular muscle, longitudinal muscle, epidermis, and these are oblique muscle or lateral, I think it's called, your textbook, your lab name called oblique muscles. And of course, all of these are coelom. Nares vernus again, this is parapodia, all of it. Okay, this is your earthworm, the Lumbricus terrestris, blood vessel, Golgi cells, the epithelial cells of the intestine. This is kidney right here. This is coelom. This fold of the intestine is called typhlosul right here. This is the lumen of intestine. And of course, this is coelom, and these are kidney. These are longitudinal muscles, which you need a bit, yeah, okay. Longitudinal muscle, kidney, longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, and epidermis out here. So the whole entire thing is intestine. If I have the pointer here, say what is the name of the entire thing is intestine. Corrugated cells, epithelial cells, lumen, typhlocyte. There are some remedies of setae in here. And then of course, blood vessel right here, same thing again. We talked about all of these before. Longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, these are cuticles and epidermis right here. Okay, this peritoneum, right here, longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, and of course, this is coelom, this is kidney, and that the most significant thing in here is, in this slide, is the peritoneum. This is peripodia of Nereus vernus, class Polychaeta, class Oligochaeta, class Oligochaeta. Remember that? Class of the earthworm, class Oligochaeta, Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, 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 Polychaeta, Polychaeta. These are all setae. This is aciculum right here. All of these setae attached to aciculum. All of that setae attached to aciculum right here. Okay, Nereus vernus, cross section of it, peripodium, intestine. These are longitudinal muscle, circular muscle, nerve cord, blood vessel, coelom, epidermis outside. I think I missed. Okay, very good. So this is your peripodium. This is notopodium, and these are neuropodium. And of course, this is aciculum, and then you don't see the setae. So notopodium, neuropodium. Earthworm, lumbricus terrestris, epidermis, circular muscle, longitudinal muscle, kidney, corrugated, epithelial cells of the intestine, typhlocyte, coelom, kidney, and these are places for setae. You can see a little bit of that. Blood vessel. Male hookworm, female hookworm. Phylum Nematoda. Female roundworm, male roundworm. Phylum Nematoda. Pinworm, my God, I can't believe I can. Pinworm, scientific name is, I can't believe it. I can't remember now. But anyhow, pinworm, the whole entire pharyngeal bulb, and then hookworm, egg. So that would be either Ancylostoma duodenale or Ancylostoma caninum. And here is a morula from beginning of semester. It's a morulated egg, very thin shell. In a moist environment, the L1 comes out of the egg and becomes L2, L3, and L3 penetrate skin of someone. Okay, this is the 2x2s. Of course, you saw that 2x2s, you have more 2x2s for this exam than compared to other exams. And this is strongyloides stercoralis. And that is a problem in AIDS patients. I talked about it in lecture a little bit. But you and I have no problem. This is another worm, just like pinworm, that it does not have to leave the host. The whole entire life cycle can continue on and on and on and on and on and on inside of the host. So the egg becomes, inside of the host, becomes L1, L2, L3 adult, L4 an adult. Okay. However, they put out some eggs, and the eggs, can you see a little bit up here? They can infect another host. Okay, it's a direct life cycle, just like pinworm. Okay, these are the eggs of dog and cat. So that would be the Ascaris toxicaricatus canis. These are most likely toxicaricanis. And these are isospore. Interesting. Okay, this is the elephantiasis, and the cause of the disease is Wuchereria bancrofti. You might ask how come he does not ask for treatment, but remember, he lives 100 miles away from the first medical facility that he can go show himself and say, hey, I got this problem before he gets this big. But he has to walk. He has to walk that 100 miles. So he just let it be that big. Okay, so this is, do not worry about this, but it look like your tricharis look like it, but it's not. It's Capillaria hepatica. It's a different, we didn't talk about it in here. But this is your ancylosoma egg, hookworm egg, okay? This is the cutaneous larva migrants. You can see the larva migrants in the mammary gland of a female. This is your tricharis. Of course, this for dog, Tricharis vulpus, which we didn't study, but if I ask you this, you should write down tricharis. Okay, these are Diroflaria of dog heartworm, microflaria of dog heartworm, which is called Diroflaria. The scientific name is Diroflaria emittens. Okay, this is our microflaria. This is the egg of Macrocantharynchus hyridensis, phylum Acanthocephala. These are the eggs. This is the eggs of horse, a roundworm, Parascaris aquarium. These are Ascarisum eggs, or also it's lobed. As you can see, the lobes, they call it lobes. The eggs have lobes, and they can stay in the environment for a long time. Or Ascaris lumbricoides, Ascarisum, Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, they lose their thick shell. The egg loses their thick shell, and they become L3, and the L3 can get out. Same thing as Ascaris lumbricoides, and if they get out, they can infect a human in the food and so on and so forth. This is Ascaris diurnina in wild carnivores. Pinworm again. Oh, I can't. So many times pinworm came. I want to say vermicularis. I can't remember the first name. Anyhow. Okay. Hookworm, ancylostoma or ancylostoma glutena. Okay, so we are done with the slides. Let's go to models. Okay, great. Models. The very first model I have, class Annelida. I'm sorry, phylum Annelida, class Oligochaeta. This is the cross section of the animal. These are setae, of course, 4 pair of setae. And then sacral muscle, longitudinal muscle, intestine. The whole entire thing is intestine. Of course, blood vessels around it. The yellow is Golgi cells. This is the typhlosul, and the white are epithelial cells, or the creamish color. Blood vessel, nerve cord, longitudinal muscles, coelom area, and of course, sacral muscles are the thin bands, and epidermis outside. Okay. Dissecting the earthworm. So here, this area would be mouth. These are the nerves, cerebral ganglion, and then powerful pharynx. These are aortic arches, these 4 or 5 aortic arches, crop, gizzard, crop, and then outside is choreogogy cells, and then this is calciferous glands, the white area. And then this area is clitellum, which becomes cocoon when reproduction occurs. The big one are seminal vesicles. The small one are seminal receptacles. And each one of these are kidney. And then these little lines here, that would be septum, that would be septum. Okay. So setae, and then intestine, coelom, circular, longitudinal muscle, circular muscle, epidermis, and this would be your typhlosul. Of course, this would be choreogogy cells. This would be your epithelial cells, and then of course longitudinal muscle, circular muscle, and coelom. Same thing again, clitellum, I talked about it, crop, gizzard, calciferous glands, choreogogies, seminal vesicles, seminal receptacles, powerful pharynx, esophagus right here, and nerve cord right there. These are all kidney. And these are septum. You can see the septum here and septum there. Okay, and these would be between each groove, these grooves, that would be annuli, right? And there are setae here, which are vestigial. You cannot see it very well. So between right here, for example, that would be annuli. You remember that? We talked about it in lecture. Okay, this is a variety of, this is Nereus vernus, this is the earthworm. These are some other species, Lumbricus terrestris, and he's giving you, this is a leech right here, and that would be Nereus vernus. So that's a class Polychaeta. That's all I want you to know. This species belongs to class Polychaeta. Earthworm, the eggs, the emerging young, and the cocoon, and so on and so forth. Nereus vernus, definitely. And what are these structures? Perpodia. They're sticking out, right? They have a pair, one on each side. Perpodia. Okay, Nereus vernus, again, not a good specimen, but you have the earthworm, right? That would be Perpodium, Nereus vernus, and then this is a leech. The 3 famous species of this phylum. Again, Nereus vernus. Different stages of earthworm. This is a leech. Again, another leech. They have 2 suckers, one on posterior end, and one they should have one on anterior end also. Leech again, posterior end and anterior end. I'm pointing at posterior and anterior end. And the only scientific name you know for leeches is Hierodomedicinalis. There are different species, okay? But if I ask for scientific name, the only one you do know is Hierodomedicinalis. Okay, pseudocoelom animals. Of course, this is the Ascus lumbricoides, male. This is female, okay? Because male is curved at the end. And then you have the tegument outside, hypodermis, longitudinal muscle, intestine, and then these are reproductive testes and so on and so forth, and the rest is broken. So the cross sections through pharynx, this is a pharynx right here, our longitudinal muscles, hypodermis, and cuticle. And of course, lateral line, um, uterus, intestine, longitudinal muscle, the bluish, darkish is the hypodermis, and then the outside is cuticle. Female, this is a female, the whole entire, this is intestine, the yellow, and anus, mouth is in this area. And you have the nerve, cerebral ganglion, uterus, two of them, vagina, and genital port right there. The black area is pseudocoelom, ovary, and oviduct. They did not do a good job of presenting it, showing it in here. Okay, cross section, lateral line, and excretory canal runs through the lateral line. Nerve cord, longitudinal muscle. The creamish area right here, that would be your hypodermis, and this would be cuticle. And of course, your powerful pharynx. Female, again, intestine, oviduct, uterus, sorry about that. These are all longitudinal muscles. This would look like a nerve cord, hypodermis, and cuticle. Same thing again, high magnification, anus, intestine, the yellow, and the red, combination of the ovary and oviduct, uterus, all of the gray, vagina, and then the tip is the genital port. Okay, so the lighter area is hypodermis and cuticle right there. Longitudinal muscle, lateral line, hypodermis, cuticle. Male, of course, female. This is your Gordius. You remember the phylum Nematomorpha? I talked about it. The common name is horsehair snake or horsehair tail. Either one is correct. And I didn't talk about it. This is the parrot. This comes out of, if you look at YouTube videos, it comes out of cockroaches live. It's like it's a science fiction movie. Okay, this is your ascosum or Ascus rheumacoides, either one. But this diagram is saying it's Ascus rheumacoides. So pigs can get both ascosum and Ascus rheumacoides. Here is your, this is it. This is your, the phylum Acanthocephala. This is your spiny-headed worm, and it has proboscis right here because of the proboscis. This is an example of Macrocanthorhynchus haridensis. Same thing, Macrocanthorhynchus haridensis. I can't tell what this is, but it looked like a round worm. It's not Macrocanthorhynchus. It's hard to tell from this view. Okay, Macrocanthorhynchus, same jar, same species. Okay, definitely. This is the Macrocanthorhynchus haridensis because you cannot see the proboscis. The proboscis embedded in that piece of stomach right here. That is a piece of stomach, intestine, gut of this worm is sloshed itself into. This is your, this is a round worm because I cannot see that proboscis. This is your Ascus rheumacoides, female. These are Toxicera-canis, Toxicera-cati. This is Toxicera-canis, right here, the bigger one. And the smaller one is Toxicera-cati. Mollusca. Tooth shell as a phylum, class Scaphopoda. Class Scaphopoda, common name tooth shell. This is your class Gastropoda, snail. Another snail, class Gastropoda. This is the bivalvia. One shell is right here, another shell is right here. And then again, Gastropoda, apex, right here, whorl. You can see each whorl right there. Again, Gastropoda. This is limpet, Gastropoda. This is bivalvia. This is a bivalvia. Okay, Gastropoda, bivalvia. Okay, abalone, which is class Gastropoda, common name abalone and class Gastropoda, and they have these holes in there for respiration and reproduction purposes. Okay, so the yellow tape, it's going around a whorl. This is the apex of the animal, and this is Gastropoda. This is aperture, the opening to the shell is called aperture, like aperture of a camera. Okay, so the apex, whorl, and Gastropoda. Okay, so here I'm explaining this is a sinistral shell. If you have the apex on top and the aperture is on this side and the whorl are going clockwise, so this very rare shell is called sinistral shell. The dextral shell is when you have the apex on top, aperture is right here, okay? And look at the whorl, it's going counterclockwise. Most of the shells you find in your life are like this, are dextral. Mother Nature can mix it, and we talk about it in lecture, but it's very rare. Again, another dextral shell. Bivalve, this is oyster. This is the cephalopoda, class cephalopoda, and then this is nautilus. These are called septum, siphuncle. Okay. Again, septum and siphuncle. You can see, I cannot see siphuncles. These are all septums, septum, and then this is nautilus, phylum, mollusca, nautilus. Okay, this is chitin, the male shell man, male shell, and class Polyplacophora. Class Polyplacophora, common name chitin. These are the layers of the shell. Okay, so the very outside layer is periostracum, the next one, nacreous layer, the perismatic, and then inside, the shiny part inside is nacreous layer. So again, this, the brown is perismatic, periostracum, and then the inside right here, nacreous layer, here, right here. That's the nacreous layer right there. Gastropoda, aperture, it's a gastropoda. And then here's a variety of different type of shells that you can enjoy and look at them and make sure you do not worry about the common name unless the ones that I mentioned, like the male shell, chitin, nautilus, of course. The rest, I'm not too crazy about it. Bivalve, you know, oyster drill and things like that. Yeah, you can study them. Everything here is a gastropoda. This is squids and class cephalopoda. Tooth shell, or class scaphopoda. Class, what did I do? Class cephalopoda, scaphopoda. Most everything here are limpets, and it is gastropoda. Maybe this one is a bivalve. Variety of organisms here. Okay, the models, let's go over those. This is umbo right there. This is pericardium. Inside is the heart, and intestine runs through the heart. Remember, we looked at the slides. Adductor muscle, posterior adductor muscle, anterior adductor muscle. Foot, palp for sensing the environment, intestine, and in the background right here, that is gonad. Stomach, kidney, gills, mantle. That's it. Okay, cross section, of course, heart right here, intestine pass through it, kidney, foot right here, and these little darker lines are your intestine, and the lighter ones are gonads. Gills, mantle, so gills, mantle, foot, anterior adductor muscle, posterior adductor muscle, kidney, heart was broken, but pericardium is still here. Intestine, gonads. Same thing again, heart, intestine, kidney, gills, your mantle, foot, intestine, gonad outside of it, foot, this entire thing is foot. Inside of the foot, you have intestine, stomach, or digestive glands, either name. These are nerves. Outside is the gonads, kidney, gills, mantle, heart, which has been broken, and then of course intestine used to pass through. Okay, nice model, umbo. These are hinge ligaments or teeth, they call them teeth. And then kidney, heart, a posterior adductor muscle, anterior adductor muscle, palp, intestine, inside of course, foot. And then the yellow is the gonad, gills, mantle. Cross section, you do have microscopic slide of it. Gills, mantle. Inside of the foot are intestine, yellow gonad. That would be your heart, of course, pericardium in here, and heart in here, and inside of the heart is intestine, and kidney underneath. Same thing again, palp, gills, mantle, entire thing is foot, inside of foot is intestine, and outside of the intestine are the gonads, stomach, kidney, digestive glands, anterior adductor muscle, posterior adductor muscle. Umbo, right here. That's umbo. Cross section, this is a little bit better now. Pericardium, heart, inside of the heart, the dark area, and this is the tiflosol right there, but the darker area inside of the heart is intestine. And of course, this is kidney, foot. This entire thing is foot. Intestine, intestine, intestine. These are gonads, and these are blood vessels. Gills, mantle, and that's about it. And that's it for the material for this exam. All right, if you have any question, please let me know.